On Global TV News Express, federal government postpones council meeting amid Osun local government crisis. In business, lawmakers criticized for stepping down 15 trillion naira FAC revenue probe. On the foreign scene, Vatican says Pope still in critical condition. And in sports, Carragher under fire for dismissing AFCON as not a major tournament. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Queen Agaba. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on NigeComSat. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. The Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation has announced the postponement of the National Council for Art, Culture, Tourism and Creative Economy meeting originally scheduled to be held in Osun State from February 25th to 27th, 2025. The decision comes in response to heightened political tensions in the state following the local government crisis. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, communicated this decision through an internal memo titled Urgent Action Against Hosting of National Council for Art, Culture, Tourism and Creative Economy from 24th to 27th February 2025 in Osun State, which was addressed to state commissioners, directors of MDAs, heads of department, units and key stakeholders. In a different development, chairman elected on the platform of the All Progressives Congress in the 15th October 2022 Osun local government election has returned to their council secretariat amidst tight security. A correspondent who visited the Felodun local government headquarters in Ikiru, the Olorunda local government area in Igbona, and the Osogbo local government area secretariat in Okebale observed that council officials had resumed their duties. A heavy security presence was also noted across major roads in the state, with armed police operatives and Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps officers mounting roadblocks at the entrances to the secretariat. Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has marked his swearing in with a bold act of clemency, granting freedom and reduced sentences to 43 prisoners. Acting on the recommendations of the State Advisory Council on the Prerogative of Mercy, Aiyedatiwa ordered the immediate release of 8 convicts, while 15 death row inmates had their sentences commuted to prison terms. Another 20 inmates serving life sentences were granted reduced jail terms. Chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on Federal Roads Maintenance Agency, Aderemi Oseni, has issued a warning to contractors handling road projects across the country, noting that substandard work will no longer be tolerated. Oseni, who represents Ibarra, a fatal crash around Ayetoro on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway has claimed 9 lives and injured 3. The accident, which reportedly occurred at about 5:30 a.m., involved a Toyota bus with number plate UYY165ZY and a truck with registration number DKA244XC. The bus driver was said to have lost control and rammed into the stationary truck. You're watching the live broadcast of the News Express. When News Express returns, Vatican says Pope still in critical condition. We'll bring you details of this as well as foreign and business stories right after the break. Please stay with us. Know that Global Television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world with our app on Google and Play Store. All you need to do is download Global TV Nigeria on your phone and watch all programs on Global Television. What are you waiting for? Start downloading and stay connected to Global Television. There is looming fuel scarcity in Lagos and other parts of Nigeria as tanker drivers have stopped fuel loading over alleged harassment by officials of the Lagos state government and the Federal Ministry of Transportation. Also, telecommunications companies have raised concerns over a possible network blackout as the strike by petroleum tanker drivers could disrupt diesel supply, threatening the operations of mobile and internet services. However, the Lagos state government says it is only enforcing its e-call-up system, warning that attempts to blackmail the state government would not work. The governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Cardoso, has restated the bank's commitment to boosting economic cooperation between Nigeria and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. A press statement from the regulatory bank says Cardoso stated this during a courtesy visit to the CBN headquarters by the Saudi Arabian ambassador to Nigeria, Faisal bin Ibrahim Al Ghamdi, and his delegation. The state properties along Section 1 of the Lagos-Calabar Highway has been disbursed. It disclosed this in Lagos at a stakeholders meeting on the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, saying for Section 1, 47.7 kilometers, the quantum of compensation already put together is in excess of 18 billion naira, and so far the contractor has managed to disburse over 15 billion naira. Some pension union executives have met with the Executive Secretary of the Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate, Tolulokpe Odunaya. He called for stronger collaboration to boost the welfare of retirees. In a statement from Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate, it was stated that the representatives of pension unions include those from the Association of Retired Police Officers of Nigeria and the National Association of Retired Paramilitary Officers and the Nigerian Union of Pensioners, all sectoral units, parastatals, who came to pay a courtesy call on the Executive Secretary at the Directorate's headquarters in Abuja. On the foreign scene, an American airline flight traveling from JFK Airport to Delhi was forced to divert to Rome after a bomb threat was made on board. The flight, which had 199 passengers and 15 crew members, had been 2 hours from its destination when it was rerouted over the Central Asian country of Turkmenistan. Reports say the airline confirmed the diversion was due to a possible security issue. French President Emmanuel Macron will meet with his U.S. counterpart, Donald Trump, in Washington, saying he will present proposals for action to counter the Russian threat in Europe and ensure peace in Ukraine. Macron is hoping to persuade Trump. Pope Francis is in a critical condition. Pope Francis is in a critical condition with pneumonia since he was hospitalized on February 14th. And had a with pneumonia since he was hospitalized on February 14th. Good night and was resting, the Vatican says. The night passed well. He says the night passed well and the Pope is resting. In a brief statement, as Francis, who is 88, entered his 11th day at the Gemelli Hospital in Rome, making this the longest hospitalization of his papacy. 10 days after his hospitalization at the Gemelli Hospital in Rome, the condition of Pope Francis remains critical. The United States Agency for International Development placed no fewer than 1,600 employees worldwide on administrative leave. The administrative leave was announced in a statement titled Notification of Administrative Leave on the agency's website. It says concurrently, USAID is beginning to implement a reduction in force that will affect approximately 1,600 USAID personnel with duty stations in the United States. Africa Cup of Nations has not a major tournament while discussing Mohamed Saleh's chances of winning the Ballon d'Or this year. Speaking after Liverpool's 2-0 victory over Manchester City on Sunday, Carragher suggested that Saleh's nationality and Egypt's international record could hinder his chances of claiming football's most prestigious individual award. Nigeria's male senior basketball team, the Tigers, have conquered the fear of missing out in this year's FIBA AfroBasket Championship after they were declared qualified for the tournament before their last qualifying match against Cape Verde. The Tigers were billed to face Group B leaders Cape Verde in their last game of the second phase of the qualifier, needing another win to boost their chances. FIBA says regardless of how they finish the qualifiers, all the countries in Group B, which comprises leaders Cape Verde, Libya, Nigeria, and Uganda, will qualify for the tournament in Angola as the best fourth-placed team. As we end the Global News Express, here's a summary of some of our stories. The Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation has announced the postponement of the National Council for Art, Culture, Tourism and Creative Economy meeting, originally scheduled to be held in Osun State from February 25th to 27, 2025. In business,